Welcome to Study Loop.
You're not supposed to be submitting full assignments here, so I'm only going to do the first 5, but make sure you're supposed to only be asking a question or 2 at a time. This is all with Pythagorean Theorem. So number 1, x is the hypotenuse. So the two legs are 16 and 19, so 16 squared plus 19 squared equals the hypotenuse squared. So x would be the square root of 16 squared plus 19 squared. That should go right into a calculator, and you'll get about 24.8. And number 2, the hypotenuse is 14, so that has to be on its own. The two legs are x and 12, so it's x squared plus 12 squared equals 14 squared. That's your setup. To solve for x, you would subtract 12 squared and then square root. So x is the square root of 14 squared, subtract 12 squared. Into a calculator we go, and you get 7.2. And number 3, the two legs are x and 9.2, so it's x squared plus 9.2 squared, and that's equal to the hypotenuse 16.5 squared. To solve for x, you would subtract 9.2 squared and then square root. So x is the square root of 16.5 squared subtract 9.2 squared, which from the calculator you'll see is 13.7. Number 4, think of the right triangle that can be created. This would be half the distance, 15. Okay, so 15 squared plus 33 squared equals x squared. And x would then be the square root of 15 squared plus 33 squared, which the square root of 15 squared plus 33 squared, I thought that was a 5, so it would be 36.2, not 33.4, 36.2. And number 5, to find this length that I've highlighted, which I'll call y. Okay. That's a leg. Y squared plus 16 squared would be equal to the hypotenuse 25 squared. So that highlighted thing that I'm calling y would be equal to the square root of, you'll subtract 16 squared. So the square root of 25 squared minus 16 squared, which is about the square root of 369 exactly. Because I'm keeping it exact to go into the next one, because now it's x squared plus the square root of 369 squared equals 22 squared. The square root of 369 squared is 369. So to solve for x, you'll subtract 369. So x would equal the square root of 22 squared minus 369. And from the calculator, you'll see that that's about 10.7.